Hey guys, Colton here from the EV Kingdom, and welcome to part 3 of What If RWBY Had the Omnitrix. And before any of you say anything, I'm actually working on this one right after posting the last part of the What If, so everything's still fresh. Also, I want to make sure I get it right the first time, so I'm doing this differently by going over the voiceover right away and just hoping it goes well. Anyways, in the last part, RWBY ended up using the omnitrix more than she normally did, and ended up finding out how Cinder is not a normal student of Beacon, and they had an easier time dealing with the Groom and Roman and the Fang. Now, we're in part 3, meaning volume 3, meaning if you've seen the last part, you probably know I was having a hard time doing this, mostly because I have no clue where I want to go. And going through everything in my head, I'm gonna try keeping it as simple as possible. And also, pardon me if the voiceover ends up being louder than normal. Well, I'm honestly trying to figure out the sweet spot, so yeah. Anyways, Vital Festival happens and Team RWBY is still participating. There's nothing really stopping them from participating. But when Emerald asks about who's going in the next round, RWBY doesn't really tell her since and they're still weary and just say that they're figuring it out. While also still trying to figure out their plan. And in secret. Anyways, everything else continues as normal. All Team RWBY, just discussing what they're going to do and still figuring out what's going on with the Fang. And now that Roman's out of the picture. Everything still happens. The fight with Team Coffee and Cinder's team happens. RWBY takes a close eye on it and notices is when Coffee's in, while Coffee is under her Emerald's effect. Semblance. RWBY does end up considering this, and everything will keep on going. At this point, though, RWBY is considering letting Osmond in on her secret, because as if he told them about it before, or odds are they might not be in a bigger situation and now. But she can't really find him and sees Pyrrha and John on wall trying to look for him. And she doesn't say anything, so that still plays the same. And yeah, everything else will just continue. One of the changes is he's paying attention to Emerald and tells our team not to really trust their eyes, which they all agree to. So I don't think Yang gets in trouble for punching Mercury and breaking his robotic leg while everyone thinks it's a real leg. But I do say they still cause somewhat of a scene. And because Yang is getting ready to punch him. Before remembering what RWBY said. So that doesn't happen. The Penny Pyrrha fight still happens. And even though RWBY knows about it, she can't really stop it. And Mercury isn't in a hospital, so he can just openly block her. Leading to Penny's, quote-unquote, death. RWBY fans understand what I'm getting at. Non-RWBY fans, just wait till a later part. But yeah. RWBY still sees her best friend, or at least one of them, die in a way. Cinder still makes the announcement, and Ruby's in a panic state. She's worried about her friend and being unable to help her. And she then sees her wrist and thinks, only if, please. I hope this works. And she dials, twists the dial. People are just wondering what she's doing. And then she turns gray matter. Yes, gray matter. Alright, decided going with that. I honestly had another plan, but I do remember that upgrade just upgrades everything. And doesn't really fix everything once you remove it. That's why many of the things Ben in the series has upgraded didn't keep its original state. Well, keep the changed state. So I went with gray matter, and Ruby's in the middle of fixing. And Penny being smart enough to figure out where the parts go. Oh, everyone's kind of confused on why Ruby's a small frog. Ruby gets everything in the right places, changes into heat blast, and starts welding in parts to Penny in together. And after also finding a way to charge her, I think Buzz Chalk might work. And yes, she did just discover she could transform into alien through alien. And I never just said she tried it. It's just an instinctive thing she was trying to do. And Penny wakes up. Meaning we're not gonna get what happens in canon. She's right there. Yeah, Ruby turns back to normal, hugs her friend. Everyone's just shocked. Well, everyone's that's there. The grim attacks still happen. And all the huntsmen and huntresses see it. Ruby realizes that she just used the omnitrix in front of people. Before giving her speech of helping everyone around them, they're all still a little confused and panicked, but Ruby's words do Ruby's words do reach them, and they'd still agree to help. And Ruby, now realizing she can't keep it a secret anymore, and not wanting to keep it a secret anymore, she openly transforms, and I'll say she turns into Stinkfly by accident, and decides to continue what she did before, and try flying up to stop Roman from leaving. It's been a while since I've seen Volume 3, okay? I don't remember why she was up there, but I remember she was up there. And this is honestly a fun fight I thought of. Now, Neo and Roman don't know about the Omnitrix. Roman and Neo at least knows that he disappeared once the watch was messed with, and there was a strange blobby creature. Ruby is Stinkfly, which honestly I think that would mess with Neo's semblance a little bit. You can't really get all the goop off from it, but it does stink. So I think Ruby could just follow her nose. It was to guide her through the illusions. And yeah, she stinks up Neo while she was off guard. Roman comes, they fight. Ruby's watch times out. During an attack, Roman didn't see. Ruby starts fighting as normal. Well, she's on the back hand. Roman thinks he has the upper hand, and then Ruby just grabs the Omnitrix and turns into Diamond Head. They start realizing, okay, well, we can still beat you, and you are immune. Yeah, Diamond Head immunity. Invulnerability. But yeah, they fight. And RWBY has the biggest hand now, and Roman and Neo are captured. She's just isolating them in a crystal. Oh, and having it fly down. They're not gonna die. They still have aura, and also RWBY wouldn't let them die. Now, she gets back to the ground, and I'm going to say, that Pyrrha still dies, and RWBY does get their annex and activates her silver eyes. She does wake up in her room like normal. Old Blake is still going back to her parents. Weiss is shockingly, Weiss chose this day having more kinship with RWBY and Team RWBY in general. So we don't have the side plot with Weiss. We actually get Weiss joining Team Ranger. Also, I do want to mention this, as I did look this up, and when I got to this part, I had multiple questions, and one of them was, would RWBY be able to help Yang reattach her arm? Which would lead to some of her drama being lessened. I remember Ben doing it as Swamp Fire, but that was another race, and I don't know if it'd work. Swamp Fire, you're doing it, I think it would, but if it's not Swamp Fire, then I don't know. No, honestly. And that's the tricky part for me. Well, one of the tricky parts. I settled on this route. I'm sticking to this route. Before any of you say, oh, RWBY could have obviously done this with that alien. One, I probably didn't think of it. Two, I'm already having troubles finishing this part and starting part 4. I'm near the end, actually, so I'm pretty much done. But yeah, that's already struggling hard enough. If you have any comments like that, please let me know. I want to learn what you guys think would be cool. But give me some credit here. Yeah, I could have obviously ended up giving her an alien that could just outdo everything. I mean, I gave her Ditto, so technically she could have been everywhere at once. So, yeah. Anyways, all that still happens. Team Ranger is formed and they head to the next city. Need to hopefully find out more about Cinder. With the addition of Weiss being there, and she honestly probably lost the right to be the heiress. So yeah, that's part 3, and I hope the next parts afterwards are easier than this. Seriously. You give a man a paintbrush and he will paint a picture. Give a man multiple ways to paint a picture and he will be stumped on what to paint. Ink draw or whatever. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this part. I hope you all enjoyed. Or leave a comment explaining. Well, yeah. Leave a comment and with what part you liked best, and just a random question. If you've seen Ben 10 or got introduced to Ben 10 through this series, what alien is your favorite? Personally, mine are Wild Mutt, Goop, and Heat Blast. Heat Blast because he's a nostalgic, the first alien ever. Wild Mutt because I just have a lot more memories of him. And Goop because you can't go wrong with a pile of goo. And I'll see you all in the next part. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe so you never miss another video. Bye.